I feel like over the years, my tastes for gaming have really ebbed and flowed. When I was younger and thought I could do anything with my life, I was playing ATV Off-Road Fury and LEGO Star Wars on the PS2 with my little cousin. Close to my teens, I was obsessed with Mario Galaxy and its incredible fucking sequel. When I got into that awkward, voice-cracking, acne-filled stage of my life, it was all about zombies and Forza Motorsport 3 for some reason. As an adult, I've juggled between serious solo stories, roguelikes, asymmetrical horror, really anything honestly that just looks to be fun for me. But the one genre I've kind of drifted away from for the most part has been the massive multiplayer open world type games. Sure, I enjoyed games like Trove, Nether, H1Z1, may you rest in peace, and other such titles, but they never really had much staying power for me, minus of course H1, because that was really fun. One of the biggest I had dipped my toes into and really fell for was the king of the genre, the true grind mission so you can get cool thing to flex to friends, the creme de la creme, GTA 5. And at one point, this was the game we played, going all the way back to the 360 for Christ's sake. That's how long I have had my same profile. And sure, I was a little late to the party, but Rooftop Rumble, Diamonds for Trevor, that one with the garbage trucks, and so many others. They were my jam to play with friends every day and night when I got off of school or work. Being able to transition to my PC and keep my character while getting now this much higher graphical fidelity was such a dopamine rush unlike anything I had experienced in my gaming life at the time. Even just goofing around, pretending to sell tacos or glitching behind walls. It was fun as hell and led to one of my most consistent games to upload in my channel's early days. To say GTA 5 is a game that holds a special place in my life is a bit of an understatement. Despite my nostalgia and memories though, unfortunately, I really feel like I could give less of a shit about GTA 6 coming out. Thought to me from a few years ago, it'd be a whole different story. But now, it's whatever, honestly. For me, this boils down to a few basic reasons, some of which I think are a little more me-specific, and some are just frustrations I have with the game as a whole. All of which is my opinion and not an objective fact that can be applied across the spectrum to everyone. Let me explain real quick. For starters, I think the simplest point for me is that my tastes in games have kind of just shifted over the past decade since I first loaded into Los Santos Airport. As I previously stated, I'm not much for the massive multiplayer online experience this game offers up anymore. The chaos of the streets just doesn't call out to me in the same way that it once did. And when I'm in a private session with a few lads, there are times it just kind of gets repetitive. Not because I'm hanging with the same people, it's just, you know, it's like, let's do a heist to make money. Let's do the same motorcycle missions. Let's do Rooftop Rumble again. They're one of those modes you bust out because it's Halloween or Christmas. The forever game elements, something I have heard referenced in other video essays, of GTA 5 just doesn't grab me nearly as much as it once did. Considering some content is locked behind hours of grinding out a mission or just forking over, real money for fake money just to buy that new base or clubhouse. It's not really a feasible option when I only have a little bit of time to hop on for a while and, well, life cost sucks my wallet dry, unfortunately. Not to mention the stupidly long time that some newer stuff can take to accomplish on the game, and it just leads me to realize a simple thing I always knew but never considered about this game. There is no end. And it just leads me to where I feel like I'm in a pit, where I just find myself wanting to experience the game, but then I either gotta put in the time or the money to get out of it, but then when new stuff comes out, there I am, back in that hole yet again. Now, that's not to say that the game doesn't offer anything for you to do for free, or it doesn't give you the opportunity to earn money in easier ways. But when you've done it all so many times over and over, and it doesn't really offer anything new new or exciting? What's the point? All this to say, I like games that have a goal that leads to a definable ending. Something that can conclude so I can move on to the next thing. Does this mean I have a hate boner for grinding on other games or hate multiplayer stuff as a whole? No, quite the contrary actually. I love stuff like Marvel Rivals, Repo, Helldivers 2, Payday 3, and a whole load of others. But I think there's a sense of finality to each of these games that really separates itself away from GTA 5 as a whole. Maybe it's the hub world you can roam around. Maybe it's the fact that you can make the world feel more lived in by saving up for apartments, cars, offices, and such. Maybe it's just that whole thing. I don't know. GTA 5, for as big as it was, imagining the sequel to be just even more, it's just... I'm good, thanks. That's also another thing for me. The sheer long wait for this game to finally be able to be held in my hand just kind of faded. Not in that, why isn't the game coming? kind of mentality, but more the sheer fact that I just kind of lost interest. This comes from a lot of areas, but mostly it comes from the state of which the gaming industry is as a whole. The mentality I notice for a lot of larger games being released nowadays is release broken, fix with patches later. And don't get me wrong, the ability to fix glitches and bugs, release additional stuff later, it's a great thing that exists and really can enhance what a base game offers. I don't do a lot of AAA stuff or pre-ordering anymore, both on a small scale and a large scale, mainly because I have been burned multiple ways that devs will just treat their games and audience as a whole. And on top of that, games will sometimes just get abandoned by their developers, trade hands a whole lot of times, and then the gamer is left with, well, nothing except their pants around their ankles while the teams behind them brought in buckets of cash for a now dead project. And when this constantly happens so often, especially sometimes to very large studios, it really just makes me less excited for a game to come out that is supposed to be the next big thing. I'm honestly glad that the game got delayed. I'm hoping for anyone excited for the game that it means that we will get an extremely well-polished game. But I don't know. This feeling in me from the last while of the games industry just don't have me very confident. Do I think the game will just die? No, it's gonna probably outsell the Switch 2 if I were to guess. But I'm not interested in, at this point, taking that gamble. Even if there is a stellar reputation behind it, games have unfortunately crashed and burned, even with some of the biggest names behind them. I may like roguelikes, which means I do enjoy gambling, but not that much. The other big thing, which I think is a more personal point, is the mentality of what this game will do for gaming in a lot of senses. For one thing, yeah, everyone is going to play it probably, so it'll have a huge demographic of players populating online servers and boatloads of people grinding out the story. That's fine. What I hate more than anything is that people think that this will magically bring channels that are not nearly as relevant from the metaphorical graveyard of nostalgic but not relevant anymore. No game has the capability to do this. Now, I'm not an idiot. Short-term gains will obviously occur. I will not deny that. Maybe a few might jump back into the limelight for a while and take advantage of the hype and really build something incredible from it, from what they used to have, and kind of recreate that old school magic. But from everything I understand about YouTube and Twitch is that that has a timer. As I said, everyone in the world is going to be playing this when it releases. So the amount of oversaturation that is going to be felt by this is going to be insane on any platform you're watching this game on. And with that, as I said, I personally don't think this is going to be the magic wand to revive people whose views have fallen due to, any multitude of issues, stagnating channel growth and overall reach. There might be people who use GTA 6 as a way to introduce or even reintroduce people to themselves on a broader audience scale and be smart about how they do things, avoiding pitfalls and, pivoting viewers to enjoying personality over just the game. But I would bet you so much more that there are going to be just as many, if not even more, that are going to fall for the pitfall trap of only being able to play GTA 6, whether through pivoting and getting a shit tons of views on their first playthrough and thinking, oh, we should be more into this shit, or people who are just starting out and are just only playing that game and not adding any variety to the games they showcase, and when they do, their viewers aren't interested because it's not the personality they're interested in, it's the game. See, to me at least, I watch creators because I vibe with their personalities and comedic sensibilities, not because they played the hit new game. Sure, it has gateway potential for discovery purposes, but I don't just stick around for that game. And again, my tastes have changed for what I consume as a YouTube viewer and what I overall find funny or relatable. Gone are the days that I would watch through Vanoss and his friends, stream highlights, and other quick-fire, rapid-paced funny videos, and in are the days on animated video essays about cybersecurity, theories about live-action Garfield movies, two guys traveling to every rainforest cafe, commentaries on the adventures of Mark Twain and other VHS movies and shows. I still enjoy gaming stuff, don't get me wrong, like Doug's Wacky Antics, Markiplier literally doing anything, my boy Toxin making memes that crack me up, and my friend Thaz creating a super fun niche slowly but surely. And with the exception of Smitty, I don't really watch gaming groups anymore, or really much about, like, you know, the Let's Play, or really people just playing games in general. Part of it comes from the fact that every single day I am editing videos about games, which is an incredible opportunity and I love it to death, don't get me wrong. But another part of it comes from the fact that I also stream often and try a lot of games myself. But part of it also comes from this desire, I think, to want to find more content that's outside the scope of what I have consumed for so long. And now that I only have a limited amount of free time, I want to find things that can really entertain me or educate me in a way that feels more meaningful, or some way to just kind of let me loose, you know what I mean? Growing up sucks, man, Jesus. I'm not telling you to not be excited about GTA 6. It has incredibly good looking graphics. The characters seem relatable to a whole lot of that couple core culture, and it's offering a whole lot more than the current game on the market. And Rockstar has a good rep for creating games like Red Dead 2 when delays occur. I have no issue with people wanting to buy it, enjoy it, make content on it, whatever. I just won't be a part of this crowd, and I think that's okay with me. Not every conversation is meant for us to be a part of, and sometimes that lack of being in one conversation leads us to discover something that we may enjoy otherwise. Maybe even more than what if we had just jumped in to fit in. It will sell well, even if the price tag does shoot up exponentially. Better than probably anything that has come out to date. If it crashes and burns, I'd be shocked. But it'd suck to see this since it has been built up for years through community hype and anticipation. I hope this game is successful, even if I'm not going to contribute to its success. Here's to you, Rockstar Games. May GTA 6 be as mythical as an experience as many hope it to be. I do ask one thing though, if you are listening, please, for the love of God, do me a solid and either remaster or make a sequel to Billy. I fucking love that game. I'll pay whatever price for that to exist. Please. Hey, thank you so much for watching. This was something I've been ranting about for a while in my inner circles, and thanks to Thaz, I ended up busting out this script very, very fast. If you enjoyed this rant style of video, I've got another one where I talk about Epic Mickey when that was releasing and my issues that I had with it, or you can check out some more structured stuff like the video essay style content that I do on the playlist on screen. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Bye-bye!